Presents Arizona Cardinals Cast 10/28/2022. You know what day it is? It's Friday! The weekend is here! And we are here to talk about the Arizona Cardinals having a big game at the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. The Cardinals are 3-4 and in last place in the NFC West. Little tidbit for you. If the Cardinals can get the win, either the 49ers or Rams will be in last place in the NFC West. Oh my gosh, what a weird season this is, I know. Yeah, the 49ers, Rams, or Cardinals are going to be in last place in the NFC West. And the Seahawks, if they win this week, the Seahawks are going to be in first place in the NFC West. Oh my goodness, this is just weird. Weird. Not what we expected. You know what we do on Fridays? Well, last week we did it on Thursday because the Cardinals played on Thursday. On Fridays, we give the 5 keys to victory! So, what do the Cards need to do to claim victory on Sunday over the Minnesota? Okay. Anyways, we don't want to hear that. We do not want to hear the very much. We want to hear silence. We want the Skull Dome to be silence. We don't want no none of that. No sounds at all. Just, you know, Kyler Murray being like, yeah, woo! Anyways, so the 5 keys to victory on Sunday. Number 1, you got to establish DeAndre Hopkins. 10 catches for 103 yards. You know what Minnesota struggles against? The pass. Patrick Peterson getting a little long in the tooth. You remember him, Pat P? Former Cardinal great. Now he's kind of Minnesota late, if you get what I'm saying. But anyways, yeah, that was terrible. But establish DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins made a huge impact last week. There's no reason why he cannot make a huge impact again this week. And I think the number 1 key to victory is making sure that D-Hop catches, I'd say, at least 6 passes, preferably a touchdown. I know that Cardinals struck him, a touchdown last week. Didn't work out. This week, I think the Cardinals have to have D-Hop find the end zone. I think that just will bring juice to the whole team. You know the Cardinals are a good road team. They don't care about the skull chant and the horn. We're not going to do the horn anymore. The Cardinals will be ready, but the number 1 key to winning this game is DeAndre Hopkins having another big game, I think. He just brings so much juice to this offense. Number 2, something the Cardinals have really been struggling with, and something that was not talked about too much last week against the Saints. They did not sack Andy Dalton. They very rarely pressured Andy Dalton. That's why Dalton still threw for almost 400 yards in the game and 4 touchdowns. But on this Sunday, you know what? Kirk Cousins, he struggles under pressure. Get some pressure on him. I know he threw a dime for a touchdown against you last year to one of the most underrated plays I saw in the entire league last year, where he's getting hit by Marcus Golden, falling away, throwing it to Justin Jefferson early in that game, and a 34-33 Cardinals win, by the way. But I think the key to winning this game for the Cardinals is also pressuring Kirk Cousins. You got to find a way to get pressure. I'm not saying get a lot of sacks, but you need J.J. Watt. You need Zach Allen. You need Marcus Golden. Maybe bring some pressure. You need to find a way to get pressure on Kirk Cousins. If he's comfortable in the pocket, Adam Thielen, Irv Smith, Dalvin Cook maybe out of the backfield, and of course Mr. Justin Jefferson is going to have themselves a field day on your secondary. We cannot have that happen because the Cardinals are not getting 2 pick sixes in this game. Just saying. Not likely to happen. Number 3. Another big key, you know. You want to silence the crowd. You don't want them having, third down, having the skull chant, and the fans. This is a very, very tough place to play. So the key for the Cardinals to win this game is to play from ahead. I know, they finally did that against the Saints, kind of. They still fell down 14-6 early in that game. The Cardinals have to, for once, play from ahead. Get a lead. Go up 7-0, 10-3, 17-6. Build on that lead, which I think the Cardinals can do. They can. But I have to see them do it. Last week was very encouraging with DeAndre Hopkins back that the Cardinals scored on their first 3 possessions of the game. Very underrated fact about that game last week. Cardinals got field goal, touchdown on their first 3 possessions. Need something like that to happen again. How about touchdown, field goal? How about we switch it up. Play from ahead. Very big key to the game. Numero cuatro. Win third down. On third and longs, you got to find a way to get pressure on Kirk Cousins, not let him find Justin Jefferson, who is an absolute menace on third down. And then on offense, sustain drives, protect Kyler Murray. You know, the defensive line, the one concern about this game is the offensive line is a little banged up. Cody Ford, DJ Humphries, a little banged up. I think both those guys are going to play. But Rodney Hudson, hopefully playing. But, you know, you have to win third down. You have to find a way to keep your offense on the field, get their offense off the field. I know it's very simple football talk, but primarily in this game, I think in this football game, the Cardinals have to keep the crowd out of the game. You do not want Kyler Murray having to do silent counts on third down, rattling the offensive line, their defense getting a fast start on you because you know, you can't get off the ball very well with the crowd noise. You can't hear the snap of the football. Cardinals need to play from ahead and also win third down. Lastly, number 5. Rodrigo! Make your field goals. You have to make your field goals. Now, last week, Rodrigo made a 50-yarder early in the game, which actually was kind of a big deal. You know, Amendola, you know, not Danny Amendola, unfortunately, Matt Amendola, was not good. Not good, just to be nice. Missed extra point, missed field goal, was not good. Rodrigo! I know he missed an extra point, but I still feel more confident with the goggled Colt hero from the University of Georgia kicking for the Cardinals. And actually, I already said on my blog, but I actually think Rodrigo is going to win the game. Here's my prediction. 43-yarder at the horn. The Cardinals win 27-24. I think this game is going to be back and forth. And I actually do think the Cardinals play from ahead. I'm going to say Minnesota ties the game with a little over 2 minutes left. Kirk goes on a drive. But then Kyler makes a couple of big runs, finds DeAndre in the middle of the field. Cardinals run the clock down, and Rodrigo wins the game from 43. Was the exact kick that man Amendola missed against the Eagles. That is my prediction. I think the Cards are going to get a big win this week, save their season, kind of creep into this huge 3-game division stretch, which is really going to make or break their season, this 3-game division stretch. We're going to know where they stand. They're either going to be kind of ahead of the pack, kind of still in the pack, or behind the pack. Obviously, if they go 1-2 to those division games, that's going to make them 1-4 in the division. No tiebreakers. You're going to have a losing record for sure, and your season is pretty much over. Even in the convoluted NFC, where you have the Giants at 6-1, and the Giants have a favorable schedule coming up, you have to expect that the Fighting Danny Dimes is probably going to make the playoffs. Cowboys, we'll see. I mean, trap game against the Bears this week? I don't know. Maybe not. But we'll see. But outside of those two teams, I mean, everyone else is just kind of bunched up, you know. And even then, maybe one of those teams falls apart late in the year. I don't see the Eagles falling apart. I'm saying they're probably going to be 8-0. And at this time next week, the Eagles will probably be 8-0. All right. Lastly, my World Series prediction. I have been atrocious on my baseball picks. And the Philadelphia Phillies, a team that before this season would have not made the playoffs altogether. They were the number 6 seed in the National League, which did not exist in the history of baseball before this season. But the extra playoff team was added. The Phillies, an 87-win flawed baseball team that really had no pitching depth and kind of a lineup that was a lot of stars and scrubs. You know, Nick Castellanos, Rhys Hoskins, very underwhelming. All of a sudden now, especially Rhys Hoskins in the playoff, is kind of become a baseball god. The Astros have been a juggernaut all season. Pitching elite, hitting elite. They don't strike out much. Obviously, Justin Verlander is going to go at least twice in this series. Might be in a Game 7 available to come out of the bullpen. He's been absolute vintage, awesome Justin Verlander. I mean, obviously, first ballot Hall of Famer. So, the Phillies, there have been teams. The 2014 San Francisco Giants come to mind. The 2006 St. Louis Cardinals come to mind. 2014 San Francisco Giants won 86 games, won the World Series. Madison Bumgarner, legendary historic performance. 2006 St. Louis Cardinals really had an ace in Chris Carpenter, obviously the best player in baseball at the time, and Albert Pujols had taken that crown from Barry Bonds. a really red-hot closer in Adam Wainwright, who's still actually pitching. Those two teams, underwhelming regular seasons, won the World Series. This Phillies team can definitely win it all. They're hot. They have one of the best players in baseball in Bryce Harper, who has been one of the few guys who actually got paid a lot of money, who's been worth the money. Even Mike Trout, you could say, maybe not worth the $430 million. Has been very good, not great the last couple seasons. Not the best player in baseball good. But I just think the Astros have too much. Too much hitting, too much pitching. Really, I know that Ranger Suarez has been a nice story, but really outside of Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, two good starters, but you have, that Valdez, that guy just looks like a crazy man. Just like, he's pretty intimidating, I'll say. Just throwing that nasty curveball, Verlander, Lance McCullers. I just think the bullpen, obviously led by Presley. I just think the Astros are a better team. I know in a short series anything can happen, but I think the Astros win in 6. I think the Evil Empire, I picked them to win it last year over the Braves. I was wrong. The Braves hit a lot of home runs. The Astros bats went quiet. I don't think that happens. I think the Astros, Justin Verlander was not there last year. He's here this year. I think Justin Verlander makes an impact, goes 7 shutouts tonight, dominates in Philadelphia in Game 5 in a pivotal game. The Astros go back home and win it. Hope I'm wrong. The Phillies is a good story. I'd like to see them win it, but I'm just gonna take the better team here. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll talk throughout Sunday. We'll be back on Monday. Have a good weekend.